This is verse 13 of the 12th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. We're in the midst of controversies connected to the Sabbath, and on this occasion, Jesus is in the synagogue, and there's a man there with a withered hand, as Matthew has described it. And of course, the religious leaders are trying to trap Jesus in some sort of technical infraction of the Sabbath, and Jesus has told them the basic principle that the Sabbath is a day, especially under the New Covenant era, in which good deeds, work, that is in fact work accomplishing good outcomes, is in fact not only authorized but basically mandated, and that's exactly what Jesus is going to illustrate now. So we have the drama unfolding. Verse 13, tota is an indeclinable adverb. It means then. Lege, from lego, I say, third person singular, present active indicative. Then he says. To anthropo, this is indirect object, dative, singular, masculine, says to the man. Ektenon. This is from ekteno. Of course, the root of the word really gives it away here. The ek is the preposition that means from or out of. In this case, it's going to mean as forth, as in stretching forth. It's the second person singular, aorist active imperative. So stretch forth is the idea. Su, of you, this is the second person genitive singular. Of you, tain kera, the hand. So it's actually asking the man to do that which he's unable to do. It becomes a little bit of a subtle test of his faith, his obedience to respond to a command that he would not have been able to respond to until this moment. Kind of like when Jesus told Peter to get out of the boat, had to act in obedience to see the miraculous effect of the obedience to the command. So anyway, he says to the man, stretch forth the hand. Kai exetenen. This is the same word as we have here, only now it's the third person singular aorist active indicative. So in obedience, he stretched forth his hand, kai, and then apekates tathe. This is from apokathes-temi. It's actually an interesting, rather complex word. The ap is from apo, the preposition means from. The kat here is from kata, which means down. And the stathe is from istemi, which means to stand. So if you put it all together, you've got to stand something, to set it forth, to put it out there. The kata means down, which implies a kind of settled way, and then the from adds the idea of to restore something to its present or to its previous condition. And that's the way it's usually rendered, to restore something, but it has to do with this kind of action leading to a prior situation. So he stretched it forth, and it was restored. This is in the passive, of course. It was restored, present or aorist passive indicative. Hu ge ace. This is made whole. It's used most frequently, actually, in the case of the man who was 38 years an invalid, and the question came up, do you want to be made whole? You may recall that. This man is restored, his hand is made whole. Hos, this is a conjunction mean as, hey, ale, as the other hand. It's in the feminine because hand is indeed feminine. So Jesus now is basically proving his authority to do exactly what he has suggested in his command or his axiom about on the Sabbath. It is permissible, indeed desirable, to do things that are good, and as if to set forth Exhibit A of that proposition, he has now healed the man's hand in a way that's obviously dramatic and irrefutable, creating a bit of a dilemma now for these religious leaders who were there.